It's been 18 years since my last engagement with this game, and truthfully speaking, this instance marked the initial moment where I sensed the possibility of the franchise impending demise. Don't get me wrong, this game was a very enjoyable experience back in the day, but the question is it worth your time and money right now? The game we are talking about is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 was originally released in 2005, and now, 18 years later, a remake was released March 24th, 2023. The game was released on PS4, PS5, Windows, and Xbox Series XS. I will cover the PC version for this game. I also want to include the minimum and recommended requirements for Resident Evil 4. This information will be in the description down below. I will, as always, start with an introduction of the beginning of the story for people that have yet experienced this game. For people that don't want it spoiled, please skip to this timestamp below. After the incident of Raccoon City, Leon S. Kennedy was asked or forced to join a top secret government program, and his mission is to locate and rescue the president's daughter from a mysterious cult in a remote rural village in Spain. Leon is being transported by two cops that have been tasked with helping him in his mission. After some time, the car stops and one of the cops needs to relieve himself. While doing so, he spots someone watching him. The cop follows it deeper into the woods. Sometime later, in the car, the cop and Leon begin to wonder what is taking so long. Leon goes to investigate, and this is where our story begins. When I played Resident Evil 2 and 3 many years ago, I just loved the atmosphere, and the fixed camera angle that we had back then was just amazing and iconic for the first, second, and third game. But Resident Evil 4 back in 2005 was the first game in the franchise that introduced the classic third-person view that we see in many games today. But for me, back in 2005, Resident Evil 4 wasn't as scary as the older games, probably because we were outside and we had daylight, but it was still a great experience. This is not the case here though. We now have day and night cycles, and let me tell you that during nighttime, this game can be very scary. Especially during the tight, dark corridor sections of the game where your flashlight is your best friend. This made the atmosphere of the game more horrifying. Graphically, the game just looks great. Everything from lighting, Leon's hair, character models, it's just a joy to your eye when playing this game, and I was so surprised that I didn't run into any problems. No stuttering, no freeze lag, no hard crashes. And that is both sad and great. Sad because this is what we expect from AAA games nowadays. And great because there are still companies that release games that actually work. The audio in this game is what you expect it to be, and I did enjoy certain sections when it was really dark and you heard people chanting some religious song in the distance. Really made me feel uncomfortable in a good way. The guns sound like guns should do, which was satisfying. I also did enjoy the voiceovers, and I know people have had complaints about that, but in my opinion, I never felt that way with any of the voiceovers. The detail of the character models feels fresh and well done. I really enjoyed that the longer you progress through the game, you will see the characters having face dirt and some minor wounds from the hell they've gone through. The same goes for the animation in the game. Jumping, crouching, running feels smooth and fluid. The game also offers a load of customization after you finish the game. To get them all, you need to beat the game at the highest difficulty, but they don't come for free. Throughout the game, you will have different challenges that give you different amounts of points that you can use to buy your unlocked accessories after you beat the game. The remake of Ashley is one thing that I enjoyed a lot. She doesn't scream all the time, and she actually provides a lot of help to Leon in the game. You still have to protect her from everything, but now instead of having a health bar, we get introduced to a different method. We can tell her to get close or give us space so she doesn't get in the way. She sometimes gets in the way anyway, and instead of giving us space in a safe direction, she gives us space and stands right next to all the enemies. Great! Before we move on, guys, I just gotta say, surviving a zombie apocalypse can be tough, but subscribing to my channel is a no-brainer. Let's take down those undead together. The game mechanics are easy to use and it feels balanced. Aiming for the head will sometimes stun enemies and will give you a chance to either kick them in the face or stab them with your knife. You can even do the famous suplex, which I didn't use since the game did not hold my hand. Thank God for that. The combat knife can now be used to parry, and it does have a durability system. If it breaks, you can no longer use it until you repair it. You can also find knives in the game that you can either use as a weapon or you can use them in crafting. If they break, they are gone forever. There are no longer QTEs in the game, which I think is nice. Instead, as I said before, you can use the knife to parry. You can do a normal parry and a perfect parry, which will stun your enemies, leaving them open for a kick in the face or a knife in the back. The game also introduces a stealth system where you can sneak and kill enemies in one hit. But that's easier said than done. I didn't manage to stealth my way through a whole section of enemies. You might get one or two, so it doesn't take away from the action from the game. The use of guns feels great, and as you progress further in the game, the merchant will sell better guns. And don't be shy on upgrading guns like I was at first. You will get around 95% of the money back, plus half the money for the weapon. You can also find guns in the game, so make sure you clean the map before moving on. Bear traps are also in the game, and let me tell you this, while it doesn't do any damage to you, it is still very annoying when you step on these every second of the game. And not only that, they will place new ones, so even if you disarm the ones that are, doesn't mean that this area no longer have bear traps and is safe to run through. The bear traps can also be used against your enemies for another kick in the face. There are also other traps like tripwires and mines, so be wary of your step. The merchant is in the game, of course, but this time he will talk a little more than he did in the older version of the game. They added some dialogue to the merchant, and it feels like there is more to him than the eye can see. For example, he complains about his back hurting, then says, "The years have not been kind to us." Does this mean there are other merchants, or did he use the word us as a finer way of saying me? Anyways, the merchant is where you buy, upgrade, sell, and repair tools with pesetas, which is the currency in Resident Evil 4. You will find these on the bodies of slain enemies, in barrels and boxes that you can destroy. You can also find different gems that you can either sell or you can place them in different treasures you find throughout the game and then sell for a much higher price. The merchant also includes optional side quests known as merchant requests, and you do want to complete as many of these as you can since they give you spinels, which is a special gemstone that you can trade for unique items like weapons, treasure maps, and other things. In different locations, we also find the merchant shooting range, where you can earn different charm rewards to equip on your inventory case that will add bonuses like more health or bonuses to crafting different ammo types. The map in this game is amazing. I think this is the only Resident Evil game where I have used the map 100+ times, and the inventory is easy to use, and you can now automatically arrange your items for a faster and smoother use. If you buy a treasure map, The items will show up on your map, which I thought was better than them just showing up for no reason. There are points of no return in this game, and there are different drawers and chests that you won't be able to open when you first encounter them. But later on you will find what you need, and my suggestion is to go back and grab it before you move too far into the game. It's never fun to backtrack, but in Resident Evil 4 I gladly backtrack for that sweet loot. Overall, I think the gameplay in Resident Evil 4 is superb, and there was never a dull moment. The story is still the same, but there have been some changes that in my opinion made the story more understandable and enjoyable. Side characters, both evil and good, have a more flushed out storyline that you can find out through different documents that you find throughout the game. There was so much to find out about Las Plagas and the Illuminados, the betrayal of Ramon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Ada and her goals, Major Krauser and his mission with Leon, the Salazar family, and even about Luis Serra. Overall, when it comes to the story, I think that the changes only makes it better. As I said before, I had no issues with the game. No FPS drop, no freeze lag, no hard crashes. The game worked like a charm throughout the whole game. This game was just so much fun to play, and I even want to do it all over again to do all the things I missed in my first playthrough. The final verdict for Resident Evil 4 is a solid 10 out of 10. It's an excellent game and a must play in my opinion. I know that a lot of hardcore fans probably would disagree since some of the changes might not suit everyone, but I enjoyed everything in this game and there was not one dull moment. This game definitely deserved the praise it got, and I am so glad that I picked it up. If you like this video, hit that like button like there was no tomorrow, and remember, life is too short to play bad games. Let me help you find the best. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day, night, evening, whatever time it is at your place, and I will see you guys in the next review. See ya.